Good morning, everybody. Hey, how are you doing? Joseph Rothschild here, aka MBT, and here we are, chat. We have made it to the third consecutive. I don't know how there would be breaks in between them. Yu-Gi-Oh! Quarantine series. I'm very happy to bring you a full day of Edo Pro action, the premier Yu-Gi-Oh! Simulator. And between you and me, the only client worth spectating in real time. Love Dueling Book, but who doesn't look fantastic? Today I am bringing you a 6-round Swiss event with 64 players, a cut to top 8 and a playoff from that position. There are a lot of people playing in today's tournament. We're going to do a quick deck breakdown and some players to look at, and then I will bring you the first round of contention. This is going to be, I think, the first tournament hosted on Edo Pro, so I expect royalties at Alpha Cretin. Remember, ping Alpha Cretin and highlight your message when doing so. Just setting up the docs real quick. Because we are streaming in glorious 1080p HD, there is not going to be a recording locally of this file so that my computer doesn't overheat. That means whatever comes of the stream, it will be the only recording of it, and that will be what I have to edit in terms of VODs. So chat, please behave yourselves. That's a bit. You can see that I've got these little wingtips on the edge of my face because apparently I'm an anime character. It's a grim reminder that this is our third collective week in quarantine, and what I like, or third collective 2-week period in quarantine because these are bi-weekly. And what I like about these tournaments is they're a way for us to connect during a time when it's very hard to do so, and have a little bit of recreation in a world that is doing its best to prevent everyone from doing that. Before we get into the actual matches, let's take a quick look at the players to watch. And let me make sure I've done this correctly. One of the perils of being the sole proprietor of Yu-Gi-Oh! Quarantine Series Industries is that if something goes wrong, there's really only a single person you can blame, and you know it's gotta be me, baby. Yup, looks like I will be able to send you over there now. So this is the breakdown of decks, and thanks to Lil Spee that could for this image. There are 64 competitors, which means that a deck with 8 decks worth of representation is about a quarter of the field, or an eighth, rather. So you can see that Eldritch is far and away the most represented deck. That is not surprising. Eldritch has been everywhere in terms of online tournament play. It's a new deck, it's a new archetype, it's fun to play around with for those reasons. Also, it helps that it's extremely powerful. It's a control deck that has the ability to rebuild, which is not particularly common. It can resist Lightning Storm, it can resist Heavy Storm type effects by floating into more spells and traps on its next turn. It has an unbelievable grind game, and despite only having one main deck monster, it is arguably the best deck. However, it is followed closely by Adamancipator, another Secret Slayer's archetype. This deck, I said it was going to be a problem, and what do you know, it is. While Eldritch is definitely, the builds are kind of circling the drain in terms of what exactly they can play, you know, with the exception of, like, Mayakashi, most of them are either on Invoked or just playing pure. Adamancipator, after about 2 or 3 weeks of combo theory and testing, has kind of a best build solidified by now as well. That is the Onomatopoeia monsters supplementing the rock-type special summoning engine. I'm talking about Go 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 Dwarf, Dododo Glove. I think I screwed those two up. Go 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 Gigas, Go 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 Defender, I think, is in there. I don't know the name of these monsters. And Utopic Onomat, held together by their their tanky and their Pendulum Call. These monsters are incredibly powerful. They special summon themselves from the graveyard, and as a result, they're great for extension, for rebuilding, for material for Block Dragon. They just do everything you could ever want. Cody Angeloff is, of course, the person who has kind of pioneered this deck build, and wow, has he seen results with the deck. I hope that other players can see something similar. Next is Mech Knight, not surprising for the Cwarantine series specifically. This is the deck that won the last one. Invoke Shadow Mech Knight was the most successful of all of the builds. It is an extremely powerful deck with the ability to go first or second, tear apart really powerful going first builds, and punish decks that end on something like a single monster. I mean, the deck has Mind Control in it. Mind Controlling the Eldritch turns off all of their spells and traps, and then you are free to do what you want. Dinosaur, additionally powerful. Giant Skyhawk, of course, repping the deck to great success, but also Graboid Fan 31, getting third place in the previous tournament with this deck. I think people have kind of figured out what the optimal build for Dinosaur looks like, and bringing it here is going to be powerful. Cyber Dragon, looking to feast on those Adamancipator players by negating a lot of their setup, just taking the Appaloosa without any removal spells. Dragon Link, kind of making an argument as the second best combo deck in the format. It's not as resilient as Adamancipator, but it can go just as far, ending on powerful boards that resist all forms of interaction. Shadal, Winda is a pretty good card, and I hear it's really strong in a format where the most powerful cards destroy monsters by effects and special summon. Lunalight, I was surprised to see represented as at 3 as well. I don't know what these players aim to do with the deck. The couple that I took a look at seem to be like OTK-focused fusion summoning builds, and hey, I mean, what else are you going to do with Lunalight now that Tiger's banned? And then other is 31, I mean, one facet of online tournaments, especially with a community as, let's say, creative as mine, is that you're going to get a lot of stragglers. Now, there's a lot of good decks represented in this other, of course. Salamangreat is in here, Guru is in here. I expect those decks to have potential large showings, but there's also some decks in here that are a little more suspect. I'm talking about Junk Speeder, a card that was banned in the OCG, but still remains legal here and allows you to summon 4 Synchron monsters from your deck. Weathery, a deck that's always been sort of powerful, but not particularly popular. And Volcanic, Pain 96, I am so sorry. I've also put together some players to watch. Let's see if this works. Yep, so these are players that are in the tournament, and I hope will have deep runs, or we will check on over the course of the tournament. The first is Pack. Pack official. YouTube has a YouTube and Twitch presence as now. This individual is extremely good. They're the 2020 Pro Play Tour Invitational winner. One of the very few, like, content personalities who's actually good at the game. But what's most interesting is that they're in the Luxury Championship Series, which has gone exceptionally late, and Day 2 is going on right now. So truthfully, I don't think they're actually going to make their matches. But you know, one can hope. Next we have Jeff Leonard. Jeff, he is a mainstay of online tournaments. If you've played anything online for the past 2 weeks, Jeff has been in it. I cannot believe the APM on this person. He actually just won his Pro Play Games Invitational invite by donking everyone in one of their free weeklies. I was only able to get 4th place in one of these events. Jeff took it down, not with Mystic Mine, with Barrier Statue Stun. So recognizing that Mystic Mine, unfortunately, is not particularly playable in a format where Eldritch is arguably the best deck, this individual has ascended and picked up a new deck. It's playing Mage Power main deck, folks. I mean, I don't know what to tell you about this guy. Please stop letting him in. Oh my god. Third is Jeebus McAsian. This individual is, I think, the top Redditor in the United States Armed Forces. They are a mod of r/Yu-Gi-Oh! Unlike most individuals on r/Yu-Gi-Oh!, they're actually quite good at Yu-Gi-Oh! They're currently running the Reddit Championship Series, which I am commentating on Sir Eminon's channel mostly. If you're interested in that, either vote the post when you see him on Reddit, or subscribe to Sir Eminon, who is hosting our co-commentary. Those matches have been a blast so far. A lot of Eldritch, like there is in this tournament as well. I mean, the decks everywhere, and the deck lists for that event were locked in when people didn't know the optimal Eldritch ratios, so there's all these people running around with just absolutely awful builds from week 1 testing that are trying to make them work in a post Cody Angeloff environment. Not a mod? Oh, well, maybe they're not a mod, but they might as well be for the amount of work they put in on r/reddit.com. And next is Giant Skyhawk. Giant Skyhawk, they're pretty good. I hear they're pretty strong. They finished first in the first Yu-Gi-Oh! Quarantine series, and second in the second one. They are here for the three-peat, gonna take more money from me. I'm kidding, Giant Skyhawk is really cool, and they do not live in the United States, so I haven't had to ship them any prizing. It is just profit for me if they walk away with this. They have Dinosaur DNA. This is the individual with, I think, the most competitive, if you can call it that, dinosaur tops in an online format. Really, really, like, innovative, interesting, dino genius in terms of optimizing that deck. Do not Nibiru this person. I know you are thinking Dinosaur summons a lot of times in one turn. Do not board into Nibiru. They will make Dolka before you are able to Nibiru, and if you do get a Nibiru off, they will use the token to flex Lost World setups. It is just gonna go poorly for you. I have terrible news. And finally, Cyber VX. Now, this individual you may not know, but I'll tell you their surname. It's Leonard. This is Jeff Leonard's son, and unfortunately, he is also very good. This is a dynasty of good players. The lesser Leonard won the Pro Play Games Weekly event last week with Eldritch and has been cleaning house in online tournaments. We actually featured him on Simo's channel in the past couple of days, in which he donked an extremely good, well-known player. It's rough seeing individuals who have the ability to practice in paper get so good at control decks, but Leonard II is one of them. And of course, if he wins this tournament, he will ascend to the title of Apex Leonard, and then Jeff will have to wrest his title back from him. Bloodline technique, that's just the way it goes. So that is who is playing in today's tournament. I'm really excited to bring you 6 rounds of Swiss followed by a top cut. Now, I have got to leave you for a period of about 5 minutes. I'm going to get Eggos for breakfast because I haven't eaten yet. This stream not sponsored by Eggos, by the way. I'm going to pair on Challenge because I have yet to do that. I'm going to ping the players and let them know that their round is up. And then we are going to jump right in. Now, you saw there were a bunch of absolutely miserable decks in that questionable other zone. So of those decks, are there any you want to see? I would like to hear in chat. I might make a straw poll if I'm feeling it, but truthfully, I've just got my eye on Junk Speeder. I'm not going to lie to you. I want to see Junk Speeder. So let me know. I will be back soon, and until then, enjoy the soothing sounds of the non-copyright stream. Hello, everybody. It's me, Joseph Rothschild, aka MBT, and it is time for the first round of the Yu-Gi-Oh! Quarantine Series number 3. I may have screwed up a little, and I had to repair, which is why that took maybe a couple seconds longer than normal. I'm sure it certainly wasn't something like 10 minutes. What did you put on your Eggos? Didn't get to get them yet. Didn't get to get him. I'm just going to spend round 1 hungry. So we have got a doozy of a matchup for you for round 1. We've got Rolo Rolo 17 on Junk Speeder versus Red Eyes Black Gamer on Lunalight. Now, I wasn't expecting Lunalight to be playable in any capacity, and I guess we'll see if it is or not. But I'm just letting these individuals know that I'm ready for them, and then we will head off there. Ugh. Sorry, chat. I'm just allergic to jank. It's made my choice of career very bad. So, you can see, for round one, we've got the wrong card sleeves. Ugh, disgusting! Branded ones. I'm here for the Cwarantine series, not for Mono Blue Tronian series. So Rolo's going to start with a copy of Quillbolt Hedgehog, followed by a 1-for-1. I'll see if we can't switch the individual sleeves in between, chat, but for now, we're discarding a Junk Converter, and this is really the glue that holds the deck together. This card lets you discard a card in a tuner to add a Synchron monster from your deck to your hand, and if it's sent to the graveyard as Synchro material, you can special a tuner from your graveyard in defense. I mean, it just pluses to infinity. And speaking of things that plus to infinity, Martial Metal Marcher is a card that when you see, you know that something ridiculous is happening. If this card is synchroed, you can target a tuner in your graveyard, special it, but negate its effects, like that would matter. And then you can only use that effect once per turn. Importantly, it's a synchro and a tuner, which means it is time for Garden Rose Maiden to make it onto the field. Now, you may remember Eve the World Chalice Miko. When Eve the World Chalice Miko was banned, Garden Rose Maiden seemed to be the new Miko in terms of making degenerate things happen, and that is what's happening here. Black Garden summons a token to your opponent's side of the field every time you perform a summon, but oh no, that's the end of Rolo's turn. It says in chat, I bricked really bad, and a good reminder to mute both spectators and opponents. Junk Speeder is a Dom top, yeah. Stevie says, wait, this might be the FTK. Yeah, it might be, and it might not. Also, it might be just a pass. This is rough. I really wanted to see what this could accomplish, but instead we might get to see what Lunalight can accomplish. Lunalight, of course, is proficient at OTKing, so I certainly hope that Red Eyes Black Gamer isn't able to OTK into the tokens that Black Garden produces. That would be hilarious. Can't even get to Quasar. Tisk, tisk, tisk. Too true. Thank you to all 200 of you who have basically just sat through the non-copyright stream so far. We haven't even played any Yu-Gi-Oh! Alright, so he's going to lead with a copy of Fire Formation Tanky, and Tanky will get a copy of Black Sheep. When was the last time you saw Lunalight Black Sheep being unironically played? Bricking in Game 1 with a gimmicky combo deck on your feature match? Say it ain't so! I believe you were Game 2, Stevie. Stevie, I almost used you for the feature match this round, but I was afraid that you might lose to the bye. I promise Junk Speeder is really good when it draws good cards. I promise, hey, you will get another chance to prove that. I mean, that's kind of the best case scenario for, like, the Synchro deck. Like, if you're able to Synchro a million times and lock your opponent out with Black Garden, it's probably bad for the game. But if, instead of doing that, 50% of the time you just lose the game, and the other 50% you win through some cool Black Garden combo, you know, that's probably a little healthier. If Lunalight can't OTK through this, it is time to burn the deck. Well, we're about to find out. Lunalight Kaleido Chick being used for its intended purpose here, sending Lunalight Panther Dancer, so it's considered it an oh my god! We are polymerizing into El Shadal Winda! That's... what? That is not... that's not a Lunalight. So it looks like we're going to send Dragon to the graveyard to destroy Black Garden, and Winda kind of feels like lights out for this. Because Dragon is being chained to the activation of Black Garden, I'm not sure that Winda's attack will be halved, and if it isn't, you know, how on earth does Junk Speeder out this? Yeah, I mean... oh, and then we get to go into Lunalight Fusion. Yeah, that might be it. Fusion summons a Lunalight Fusion monster using monsters from your hand or field. Remember that Kaleido Chick is still being treated as Panther Dancer, so Leo Dancer is not far off. This is the one Fusion summon for Lunalight, but no big deal when it's got 2 must-remove monsters on its side of the field, and its opponent, who's on a Synchro Summon deck, only gets 1 special. I feel like this is likely the end of the game. Yep, there's Leo Dancer, and Leo Dancer, an incredibly powerful card. Can't be targeted with card effects or destroyed by them, can attack twice during each battle phase, and if it attacks a monster, you can destroy all special summoned monsters your opponent controls. So we walk into the Rose token for a quadrillion damage, and then we blow up the entire board, followed by a direct attack with Leo Dancer, with Winda, and Lethal. Well, Shadal was not what I expected to be splashed into Lunalight, but it's kind of working well here. I guess most of them are dark, if not all of them, right? Alright, so Leo Dancer is going to wipe the board, and unfortunately that's not 2 attacks on monsters. It gets to get in here for 3,600, and Winda gets to get in for 22, sealing this game up nicely. Now, this gives us a nice little, a nice little sideboard time that I can use to potentially brand correctly. Oh, are they in this? They are. Frustrating. One, 2, 3. So those are the 3 we need. And to replace them, go into the textures folder here. And we'll lose these 3. Oh. To those of you interested in seeing the MBT Yuga Pog used as a mask, don't worry. It will certainly be back on my normal streams, which you can find the schedule for below or when I go offline. Alright, so if we reload, we should be able to see the beautiful branding of the Yu-Gi-Oh! Quarantine series. These images courtesy of Mika, inventor of Trinity Format, which is what our side event is. I'll show locked rooms as well, and I believe it was in EU Central. Oh, let's show started rooms, since it's that. Alright. And here we are. So we're in game 2 now, and double synchro chase for Rolo Rolo. What is going on? Well, this is cool. Unfortunately, I don't think it does anything. Best of luck to Rolo, but, yeah, I don't feel like they're very long for this world. Lunalight excels at OTKing, especially into boards that don't contain any monsters. Ah, man. Well, it truly was a junk speeder. Lunalight's Saber Dancer. And, ooh, looks like the Ghost Ogre is coming down. Alright, okay, that destroys Kaleido Chick and means that it's going to be much harder to assemble fusion material, but, I don't know. I bricked again. Well, Rolo, how many 1-card starters do you have? Whoa, and a hard cast Shadow Fusion. Sometimes you gotta do it. Sometimes you are not able to rely on your opponent summoning an extra deck monster, and you're just gonna have to send cards from your hand to the graveyard. If it makes a Winda, it'll probably still do it. I enjoyed this duel, says Neat98. Yeah, this duel did happen. You know, I don't really have anything to say outside of that. I'm going to see if we can jump into another game that I know will be going long and gets us out of an all but mandatory feature in round 2. This is still better than watching the Eldritch Mirror. Hey, it might not be better, but you know what it is? Faster. I'm on 22 2-card combos, says Rolo. Unfortunate. You just gotta win out from this position. Oh my god, wait. Rolo's gonna get another shot at it. Okay, that set card has to be Lost World, or Lost Wind, and the 2 cards in hand have to be a combo. Make it happen. Yep, that'll do it. Yep, that's it. That's what I asked for. That's good. Eldritch is Shiny Altergeist, prove me wrong. That's actually quite easy. Eldritch has been winning events. My opponent timed out even though he was constantly... Would you still love Junk Speeder if he was a worm? No. I think I have one out to Winda. Well, that's very upsetting because here's Winda. Call Doug, he is crying. I have a question. Do you think you will do another 10-minute testing of sharks on Yu-Gi-Oh! Pro? I don't think I will. What's the issue with the ban list? Just the instant fusion? That's unfortunately just gonna have to be a problem. They need to make fusion Lunalight more consistent. Hey, it's looking pretty good here. So this is like funny, but not necessarily good. You know, Winda is just an out to the board. It might just take a couple of turns to win the game. Just for one format, one engage test phase. So is the next YCS going to be Eternity Code? It will. Alright, a Called by the Grave is pretty good, but... Man, I don't know how you expect to outwinda here. Lunalight is just budget train right now. That is true. Plunder tops Poggers. Yeah, Plunder will absolutely be represented at the next one. I am 100% sure. Alright, Doppel Warrior was the set card. So now that it's been sent to the graveyard, it can summon 2 Doppel tokens. That's how this card works, right? Eldritch is just Fugio Richie 2. Prove me wrong. Can't. That's unbeatable logic. Raise your Shapiros, chat. We've been BTFO by the based master logician. Alright, Rolo. What you got? Regeki? That doesn't do it. A Kaiju. A Kaiju would do it. And Kaiju is basically the only thing that would do it. Enjoy the last support for Plunder. It's very hard to look at the support and not think, oh, so this is over, huh? Should I have Dark Ruler No More or Raw Sphere Mode in the side deck for this format? Well, if you look at this game state, Dark Ruler No More would resolve it, and Sphere Mode wouldn't. You know, do with that information what you will. But I think Sebeyond is correct. Both seems pretty powerful. Rolo's correct. If I can get exactly Synchron Carrier Junk Synchron, I can out the window. Well, you've got exactly one turn to find them. TG8 Hyper walks over it. That's where you find out there's an invoked, or there's an A-lister in hand. Is A-lister any fusion? I don't remember. Does it have to specifically be an invoked one? Oh, now this is just disrespectful. Brotherhood of the Fire Fist, Tiger King. I think you had lethal. Oh, unless he wants to activate the effect of Tiger King to negate his own window and then activate the tanky and pop off. Saber Dancer here. Target a fusion monster you control. It gains 3,000 attack. Oh, yeah? I hate how the new fusion card doesn't even work with Luna. Hey, that's a cool Called by the Grave, but unfortunately just a little late. There's not another Saber Dancer in Graves, so I think this is going to likely be the end of the game. Alright, and Junk Synchron goes to the graveyard. Yeah, that was one of the 2 cards he needed, but he needed another one as well. Well, that's unfortunate. But it is what it is. It is what it is.